Hello, and welcome back to Nerds and Stuff. My name is Martin, and today we're playing our Urban Shadows campaign, Friends Like These. Before we get back into the chaotic maelstrom that we left behind last week, I'm going to have my players introduce themselves. Sterling!
Hi, my name is Sterling, and I'm playing Calvin the Wizard.
I'm Daniel, and I'm playing Oliver Silver, or presently Jordan Clark.
I'm Junior, I'm playing Jake Gordon, Tainted.
Our heroes, they were in the construction site for the peaceful exchange of prisoners for murderers. Last we saw Calvin, I believe he was helping Oliver up. Jake had just gotten rammed by some werewolves. Calvin had convinced the werewolves, specifically Trent and his few packmates, to go deal with the hunters who were ambushing us in the middle of this maelstrom. Aurora was casting magic, trying to defuse the situation as much as possible, but now that the vampires are turning and shooting on the werewolves as they flee, I don't think Aurora is as friendly anymore. Jake is this demon form, wielding his fiery sword. And last we saw Oliver, he had a gun pointed near him by his brother, shooting past. I believe there's an exchange of Samuel and Jordan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Is that where we're at right there?
I believe that's where we're start up today. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
So,
Okay.
So boom, boom, boom. They're firing. Leo's shooting over you. You yell, "Stop, Leo! We have to stop this!" Right? And you see Samuel. He's a lot older than the last time you saw him, but it's unmistakable that this is your younger brother who now looks very much older than you.
So, still kind of being a slave of darkness right now, empowered by it, I'm just gonna speed step to him and grab him and pull him out of the fray and up against the wall.
Okay.
And just be like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Okay, we're gonna cut back to you guys, okay? Leold firing into the pack. Aurora basically picks him up and is just holding him.
Holding Leold.
Holding Leold in the air, wanting to crush him with magic. You see her. What do you do? I'm assuming you're... Yeah, we'll get back to you in a second.
Okay. Thing is, I'm not great at persuading NPCs, but with this one...
Are you gonna let her try and crush him?
I don't want to, so I think I'm going to hit her with a gust of wind type of a thing and just try and knock her off her feet.
Deal. So you slam her over. Is that a spell you have to cast?
I imagine it would fall under elementalism, but I'm not intending to do damage. I'm
just going to make you cast one of your holds,
okay.
But it's not going to deal damage or anything. But that is a spell. You just right. Mm-hmm. You slam her. She launches 20 feet, collapses. You immediately sort of regret how much magic you used, but you're heightened right now. Shit's crazy. Oliver just flew off almost.
Puff of darkness.
With this puff of darkness grabbing this other vampire that he sort of knows, this murderer that killed the alpha. We turn back to Jake. Jake has this fiery sword.
Yep.
The werewolves are turning and fleeing. Bullets are flying everywhere. What do you do?
I'm just looking for anything that's looking at me or wants to, pick a fight.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. So
You did just get rammed by a werewolf.
Yeah, so...
But I'm not
this,
that werewolf.
This bolt sails through the air errantly, right into your chitinous armor, bounce haphazardly off. You look over and you make eye contact with this hunter that immediately realizes there's a demon right there, right?
I'm charging.
Okay, so it is Pablo.
It is?
Yeah, the guy that you know and they're friends with, ish.
Yep, charge right at him.
So you just start charging right at him.
Hey, with friends like these.
He starts firing. He reloads his crossbow. You're charging right at him with fiery sword branded. He shoots a bolt, pierces your armor, deals you 2 points of damage. Okay, and you have armor right now.
No, I don't. I just have the chitinous.
Okay, so you take That doesn't give you a baseline armor?
Nope.
Okay. I think you just have to. I think I'm going to ask you that every time you change.
Yeah.
Period. So
we just make it so it does, because it totally seems like it should.
no, because he has to pick one.
Yeah, I can pick a
Yeah, he has to pick it.
God damn it,
He went with
Junior.
fiery sword.
What
Well,
sword,
also
dude?
when he transforms, he should probably roll higher.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point.
Quit sucking.
He's kind of a crap demon right now. It's like the poop emoji demon. All right, so you're chasing after him. Crossbow bolt sails right into your chest, deals you 2 harm. Right, mark it down.
Yeah, I just got over something.
Yes, you did. This is the land of being a bad guy, being fighting monsters. Yep. Right, so you're charging at him. Pablo shoots his bolt, doesn't even slow you down. Pierces you, you roar into the darkness. What do you do?
So, I know him. I'm gonna... I have both swords.
Do you strike him down?
It's your flaming great
How
sword.
good of friends are you and Pablo?
Well, I'm not that great. And
Swing it.
He just shot
Swing
you,
it.
man.
yeah, he just shot me. Alright, swinging it. So we're gonna unleash.
Unleash.
Come on, baby!
All right.
6.
With,
Oh,
with,
thank God he's
with
rolling
blood.
his blood.
Yep.
8.
All right,
That's it.
so you can pick one. Do you inflict terrible harm or do you take something from Pablo?
Take his soul.
What do you
I
do?
think I'm going to take... Yep, I'm gonna take...
You're going to inflict terrible
I'm
harm?
gonna take something. Can I take his soul?
If you kill him, but...
I'm in a frenzy state after what happened last time.
You double-handed bury your sword
And then
into him, right?
It just
And
absorbs.
then, how do you take someone's soul?
So I would imagine that if I had my sword with me, then it would radiate through the sword and just collect.
That seems really cool, but I kind of like the idea that
Then I
like
reach out. And
maybe you like reach up and put your hands on his
So
face.
what if, like, you struck him down, right? And
he's
you,
like buried his sword into
You
Pablo.
literally separated his soul from his body when you did that. So then you reach out with your hand
my
and
hand
you
and grab
grab
the
his
soul.
soul by the
Okay.
head and bring
Okay.
it into you.
So your fiery sword hits his body, but his soul comes out with the sword on the other side. You grab the head of the soul, and you kind of twist it until it spins and funnels into your arm, and it kind of radiates blue for a second before returning back to this bone, right?
And then I'm just gonna yell out just a just a big.
Perfect.
Jesus Christ.
Pablo's crossbow falls to the ground. I'm going to cross him off the old NPC list.
And that's how we clean up the list.
Yep. Oh shit! This is not good. For
Just kill everyone on the list.
Nefaris accepts your offering.
All right. So we're going to come back to you in a second. You just threw him elsewhere. We're going to come back to you, okay? You have your brother up against this, like, cat tractor or whatever, right? You have him slammed up against there, like, Samuel, what did you do? And he looks at you and he says, I did what I needed to.
What do you mean? You started all of this.
And you wouldn't? That's why you're still an orphan.
There was peace here. There was peace. And in peace comes prosperity.
He kind of looks past you and he says, do you see what we've done? The wolves are dying in numbers.
You started a fucking war!
War was inevitable. War is always inevitable. And he is going to basically shove you off of him with his vampiric strength. And he says, now you can either join me or you can get the fuck out of my way, brother.
Is there a vampire's fallen sword nearby?
No, you shoved him plenty far away from the scuffle. Yeah.
I just look at him, and I point a finger at him, and I'm like, just like Dad used to do. We're gonna fucking talk about this later!
That's fine.
And then I zoom off
Okay.
to grab a sword from one of the vampires that have died.
Okay. So you guys both start running back into battle. You stop, pick up a sword. What do you do?
I'm headed for hunters.
Okay. So you're heading over to the hunters. Aurora lifts herself back up, comes back to you, and Leold is actually still firing at the werewolves. In fact, all the vampires who are fairly unscathed are killing the werewolves with the hunters. If you guys don't stop one of the groups or both of the groups, these werewolves will perish quickly. You had last convinced Trent to stop killing your friends and the vampires. And he said, help us, or this massacre's on your hands too.
So I'll just look at Aurora and I say, head for the trucks, clear through the hunters.
Okay.
Or, I guess, an accent.
in words and stuff.
That was your thought process, right?
Yeah.
Wizards have telecommunication, and it all sounds English. Yeah. All right. So Aurora, she kind of goes by and she goes, "If I find out you had anything to do with this, we're done." And she just blows past you. She starts slamming these vampires aside with gusts of air, and she just kind of switches her voice and kind of almost yips at the werewolves. Get out of here now, or you're all dead. And we'll say that maybe 2 or 3 werewolves make it out of here alive. And the hunters, there's probably 4 or 5 of them left. You've cut down a couple more, but at this point, like Calvin and Oliver get over there. The hunters and the werewolves, the hunters and vampires are not fighting each other. And you guys approach. The werewolves scattered. There's several dead on the ground. There's 3 that made it out, including Trent, but badly wounded. Within moments, you guys can tell that the vampires and the hunters are going to chase down the strays and finish them off. Unless you guys act, they might kill off the last of the werewolves. What do you do? What do you do?
I'm still in a bloodlust, so...
Okay. Do you recognize what's happening?
Kind of, but at this point, I don't really care.
We'll come back. All right, he's okay. Jake is about to kill more hunters unless you guys stop him, which might complicate things with the hunters and the vampires. So unless somebody stops Jake's, this situation's about to escalate even more.
Yeah, I guess I give up
Unless
in
we
Jake's
stop the
grill.
vampires are going to kill the werewolves. Unless we stop Jake, Jake is going to kill the hunters.
If we don't stop Jake, Jake's going to kill all of us.
The hunters are going to kill.
So
Fuck it, I'm out. I'm done.
what's top priority? What's top priority? Can we play a new campaign? Can we be farmers
play
next?
D&D.
Can we play farmers next? I want to be a farmer. That sounds fun. Is there any farming RPGs? All right.
So much for farm equipment, Martin.
So, Calvin, you are first on the scene. What do you do?
Shit. I just, I'm going to put a shield on the hunter that Jake is getting ready to attack.
Collect the soul from. All right. So here's. I'm going to complicate this a tiny bit more.
Okay.
The wolves took off because they have superior speed.
Mm-hmm.
The wolf's ally, Aurora, cannot.
Oh shit.
She is exhausted. She is weary. And as you look over, you see Leold with a gun to her chest.
Okay.
And does anyone try and stop him?
Well, if I see that, then I'm actually going to cast, like, a lightning bolt or something at Leold. Just shoot a spark of energy at him.
Okay.
Oh, shit, isn't it?
You're going to talk him down?
I don't think I can.
Okay. So you shoot him with lightning. Roll it.
-1. Nope.
Okay.
I rolled a 7.
So
which
you
becomes a
you
6.
fire errant lightning, kind of crackles through the air, misses, kind of gets everybody's attention, stops you from killing hunters, right?
And I'm breathing hard at this point
Yeah.
because I freaking have an arrow in my belly still.
And she's kind of standing there. She's exhausted. She has nothing left. She was casting magic far more faster and furious than you were, but she is exhausted. She is defeated. Her allies, or temporary allies, are dead at her feet. And she looks at Leold and she says, "If you're gonna pull the trigger, pull the fucking trigger." He hesitates for a moment. Does anyone interject? Going once?
Yeah, I do. I step between them.
The gun is to her chest,
Oh.
so you're gonna have to contact
I
him.
step up.
Okay.
I put a hand on his shoulder. And I just say, punctuated by a howl,
Yeah.
Leold, enough blood's been shed. What's done is done. You don't need to bring them into this too.
You feel his grip start to loosen a little bit. He kind of looks back at a couple of the vampires. A couple are dead.
Look, you've already started this trouble with the wolves. Okay, it's going to be a mess. Don't start it with the wizards, too.
I don't even think she's worth it. The wizards wouldn't care if they lost one. Kind of. You chuckle.
You don't know who she's working for, mate.
You don't know who we're working for, mate. He kind of lowers his gun. We're done here. You guys can go. The hunters kind of start heading out unless somebody stops them.
No, but I'm going to run back to Jake now.
No, Jake is nearby. Jake is nearby.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Jake is just.
I'm probably going to hop up on Jake again, try to get eye to eye,
stir me up again.
and try to calm him down.
He's fine. He doesn't look like a.
Oh, he's not.
I'm cool
Okay.
now.
He's
I'm cool.
Yeah, he's.
I'm kind of catching my
Then I
breath.
guess I'm going to come over and just be like, Jake?
So, I'll leave you this question, okay? You can either take a corruption to calm yourself down, or you can suffer unknown consequences.
Push the button. Push the button.
Ugh.
What's it gonna be?
I'm gonna take unknown.
Okay. Okay.
Push the button.
All right. So Oliver comes up to you, and he says, "Jake, calm down." And he just puts his hand on your face and just shoves you back several feet. And he turns, he puts his sword back into his chest, and he just starts stomping off into the darkness. You have this situation with Aurora and Leold still, so you can either follow after Jake.
Well,
He's heading after the hunters. He looks like he's about to go murder whatever he can catch. He's almost like demonically laughing as he walks away too.
do I feel like things with Aurora are settled?
No.
Because, God damn it.
Things are de-escalated, but one sassy word from this bitch could flare things right back up. Calvin is exhausted. Your brother still looks like he's full of bloodlust. What's it going to be? After Jake or stick around?
I need to stick around and make sure
Okay.
things don't get worse.
Jake starts tearing off into the night, howling with demonic anticipation. All right. So Aurora's standing there, and she's looking down at the werewolves, and she goes, "You fucking murderers. You set us up from the..." She's talking to the vampires, not you guys.
Like, I didn't do shit.
You
Don't
set
yell.
us up from the first fucking moment. You were even low enough to bring in hunters to do your fucking dirty work. Either... If we're done here, then we're done here. I did my best to stop this war. But if it's war you want, then war will be at your fucking doorstep soon enough.
Aurora, let's go.
She kind of looks at Leal to make sure he's done with her. He's not going to shoot her in the back or anything. He kind of puts his sidearm down, relaxes a little bit, and Aurora kind of... and then kind of turns and starts walking away, limping, heading for the trucks that are now abandoned.
I'll probably go with her, just kind of keeping like...
Just arm around,
Arm
walking
around.
her. Okay. As Jake storms off. What a fucking mess. God, I just like looking at this. There's dead vampires. There's more dead werewolves. A demon Jake is hauling ass into the darkness against
For the
hunters.
second time.
Oh man. Okay, so Oliver is left with the vampires.
I just put my hands on my head and just run them through my hair.
Yeah. Leold kind of says, "Let's go, guys. We're done here." They turn to start walking away. Samuel says, "I'll see you around, brother." They walk away, leaving Oliver standing in the
In a
darkness.
wake of carnage.
Blood, carnage, magic still crackling in the air. Several dead werewolves and a few dead vampires at your feet. The camera fades to black. The next morning, you guys... actually, we'll cut back to
I need
Calvin.
to take a vacation.
Yeah, class is canceled.
Yeah, class is so fucking canceled.
And it's just Thursday, kids!
Yeah, so it's you walk Aurora back to the truck, and she kind of sits in the driver's seat, and she just looks back at the construction site as the vampires walk away, and she just looks down at the werewolves, and she says, "Calvin, I tried to stop it. These fucking vampires had us set up from the get-go. Did you know anything about this?"
I felt some strange magic, but by the time I realized what it was too late. The hunters were coming through.
Who opened that portal? There has to be other wizards at play here. Wizards working with the vampires or the hunters. Something bigger than me. Something bigger than... fucking... The second Vincenz is going to hear about this, it's going to split the community. I know you're not very active. You might want to double think that. It's only a matter of time before we get pulled into this shit too.
You can only sit on the fence for so long before someone pushes you off.
Or it tips over. Fuck!
Look, we'll go back to my place. Get some rest there.
Can you drive? I gotta call Vincenz.
Yeah.
Okay. The truck fires up, starts driving off. Oliver, what do you do?
I probably go after Jake.
Okay. Right.
I mean, I don't really care that he tears into hunters because I really don't like them.
Yeah.
But
And plus, their numbers are a little up right now.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with thinning the herd. Yeah. Walking away from the construction site, you do look down at Pablo and take a moment
to enjoy that.
to enjoy it.
You know
But
what?
not only is he sort of cut in half, but his color is
just
completely
wrong.
just ripped from him.
I want to take his crossbow. A little trophy to take home to the wall of memories.
Yeah. So it's a pretty standard modern day hunter's crossbow.
I'm just gonna sling it across
Go
my
ahead
back.
and write it down. Yep. Perfect. So you grab the crossbow and maybe say something witty like "time to go hunting," right? And then you start chasing
One-liner.
after. Yep. So I think we can just narratively resolve the rest of the night. Jake catches up with a couple hunters, rips them to shreds, feeds their souls to his master. Eventually, Oliver catches up to him. Actually, I'm going to say that Oliver will not catch up to him, right? Your choice was to take corruption and ease out.
To take
corruption.
unexpected.
Or unexpected consequences. And I think the unexpected consequences are that you cannot be talked out of this state right now. You have another bender. And we'll come back to Jake in a moment then.
Good deal.
Yep. Trying to be a fan of the PCs here, man.
Yeah, no.
Trying to be a fan. If you want to think
show
about...
it in a funny way.
I obviously don't want to make this like a reoccurring thing where you're every single time,
Right.
you know, you become a demon form, you just go on a bender, and then we cut you from the story for a little
Right.
while. So if we can figure out cool ways to make you a monster without making you absent from the story, right? I obviously don't want to pornographically detail how you become a murder hobo in the city,
Right.
because that's not the kind of story that we want to tell here at the table. But if we can talk about how this demonic power is overwhelming your humanity, then we can get there. So I'm gonna let you think on that, okay? On how tonight might be different than a couple nights ago. Okay, so we're gonna cut back to you get back to your house, you crash, you're both fucking exhausted.
So I have an apothecary within
Okay.
my sanctum, so I imagine we might go in there and get just some stuff to restore a little bit of energy or make the magical hangover a little less.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that she just gets to your house and she just crashes on the couch and you take care of her.
Okay.
Kind of, because didn't you guys date for a brief hot second?
We had a tryst. but that's about it.
Okay.
So you go into your apothecary and you just get yourself a couple of Red Bulls.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So you
They're
come
called
back.
mana pots.
Yeah. You come back and you kind of you take care of her a little bit, and it's for just a brief moment. It is like sentimental for years ago when you first meet her, and it occurs to you watching her kind of lay there, weeping, kind of distraught, right? Sort of realize how much more this meant to her than you originally thought. How much is at stake here that you, being kind of twice removed from the politics of the city, the politics of the Wizard Council, stuff like that, kind of reminds you of what you've stepped away from. And how much people have grown around you and left you behind in certain ways, but also how much you've grown in ways that have left them behind. And it's kind of this bittersweet moment of watching someone that you used to know a lot more be somebody that you, as much as you recognize, you don't. And so you guys kind of spend a lot of time in silence, sitting there, exchanging small pleasantries before she just falls asleep.
You know, I don't mean to interject, but this does kind of sound like a very intimate moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was actually kind of thinking that too.
Yeah. No, and anytime, it's hard for me to remember those things. We don't use them that often. So make sure anytime we do see moments of intimacy.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for your character?
So for wizards, there's not much that you gain from them.
Okay.
Moment of intimacy, whenever you share a moment of intimacy, physical or emotional, with another person, decide whether you care about them or not. And I think that I do...
in this weird, like...
in this weird
to
way,
see her again.
I do care about her. Like, I don't want harm to come to her.
Okay.
Even if we don't necessarily see eye to eye on everything, I do still care about her. And if you do... so it says if you don't, they go about their business as normal. If you do, they take -1 ongoing to escape until they get intimacy somewhere else.
Okay. So
she has a harder time using the escape maneuver.
okay. And granted, that's a mechanical thing,
Yeah.
but thematically, I think that is just reflecting that when you're intimate with wizards, whether physically or emotionally, it traps you a little bit in weird ways.
The magical weave tends to kind of entangle things and, tie things up in a weird way. And while magic is a powerful tool, it also is a
It's kind of
powerful
dangerous.
beacon
Yeah.
for dangerous things. So
Yep.
So I guess here's an interesting question. She is a wizard too.
Yep.
Do NPCs have intimacy moves?
I mean, I don't think there's any exact rulings on that.
Right. Okay.
I think that you guys trigger. You guys are the heroes of the story. You guys are the stars of the story. So I don't think I would interject it back. It definitely feels a lot more. Me seeing this scene play out in my head, it feels a lot more like him taking care of her, creating a moment of intimacy between you and her, but mostly for her to be open herself up to you. Right? She is vulnerable right now. You are a little bit more close, playing it close to your chest. Things went bad in a bad way tonight, and there's a lot of repercussions that are kind of going to come from this. But at the same time, Calvin is resilient. As the waves crash over him, he breaks them. Other people can get washed away. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut to the next day, right? Oliver eventually cannot find Jake. Probably retires for the night, especially as it's getting close to dawn. Do you spend most of the night trying to find her, or does your brother's reappearance convolute? Trying to find Jake, sorry.
Oh.
I think I said her.
Probably not.
Okay.
I spend a little bit of time trying to follow his path of destruction and kind of flaming footprints.
I kind of like the idea, too, that Oliver got a phone and put in a sort of tracking device or something.
I have my ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep your friends, or what is it?
Keep your enemies close,
but your friends closer.
No,
Other
it's the other
way.
way. Yeah, it's the other way.
Well, we don't really know where
in
he
Jake's
sits,
case,
so...
it's both. Yeah, in Jake's case, it's both. So, you retire back to your haven for the night. tell Robbie to hold your calls. You're not interested at all.
Not today. He comes up to talk to me when I'm headed in. Not today, Robbie.
Daddy had a bad day. All right. So,
Daddy needs a drink.
No bones.
So you retire for the night, okay? Jake, you wake the next morning. You're haggard. You wake up. Where's an odd place for you to wake up?
At home.
No.
That's not what I was thinking.
Yeah, that is the joke of it, though. You wake up more often weird places than at home, so that's the weird place to wake up.
I was thinking probably just in like some alleyway.
Okay, yeah.
or
So
something.
there's
Maybe
like
by the dock
there's like a
somewhere.
restaurant that's like the guy comes out the back door slams, he's smoking a cigarette. You kind of wake up, you're like just laying on the
just
street,
like,
just haggard, and he's like, "Whoa, fuck, man! It's Friday morning. You must have had a crazy night." You're not. You look around, no idea where you're at.
Am I naked again?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Hell of a night. And then,
He kind of offers you a cigarette. Reaches
Does
in,
Jake
grabs
smoke?
a flask,
No,
offers
but
you
I'm
a
going
drink.
to.
Jake doesn't smoke a cigarette anyway.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of, sit up and smoke and have a drink.
Yeah.
And this is killing me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a smoker.
Yeah, you can breathe sulfur.
Yeah.
But,
Yep. Where am I?
It's like, fuck, man. This is 17th and Maple. You think back to where you were last night. You're like several miles away from where you were. Well, maybe not miles. Cities are big, so several blocks away.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
You feel like that demonic hangover
Yeah.
that you get after you shift.
I'm gonna get up and.
It's kind of like when you masturbate to really nasty stuff. You always feel like terrible regret afterwards.
Really?
Really?
That's
No,
a big
nobody
one.
else? Nobody else? No? Okay.
just you.
Okay.
Awkward.
Yeah. Well, clowns hitting each other with paddles is a very specific thing. Okay.
Everyone's got fetishes.
All right.
Like
So-
wars?
Moving right along. All right. So you wake up. You take a drink, and
I'm just like,
it doesn't help at all. I mean,
I know
you
it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, just trying to get something.
You're very relieved to hear that it's Friday morning, right? That's like the best
Oh
news
God!
of all this.
Wait, like the 14th Friday?
14th or the 21st. Yeah. So you wake up. He's, this just some guy works.
Just
Yeah, just some
chat,
some
chat.
line cook or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get up and thanks for this cigarette and the drink, man. I gotta get going.
Good luck, man. Take it easy. Holy shit.
No, you gotta party hard sometimes,
Not wake up in the alley hard. Get a ride home, guy.
Yeah, I'll
You immediately snap and you're like, fuck home. Ah.
Oh, God, I don't want to go there. Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind of thank you, and I'm just gonna walk off
Deal.
in the direction I
You
think.
still have your cell phone, right?
I guess I probably do then if I still have all my.
So you wake up and you just see a text message from Oliver that says, "Call me."
Just let me know you got home, or let me know you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call me.
That's fair enough.
It would go to voicemail this morning anyway.
Okay.
All right. So you just start walking home.
Yeah, I just started
Okay.
walking. I don't
Okay.
not necessarily home.
We're gonna cut
just
back to
walking.
that. Let me get some time to think. All right. The next morning, right? Calvin wakes up, and when he wakes up, Aurora's still sleeping on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Right? Class is 100%.
Class is canceled. I
was
sent
so
that
canceled.
message
Yeah.
last night.
You sent it yesterday at 8 p.m., motherfuckers.
Yesterday at 5.
Yeah, yesterday, like at dinner, you just knew. You just knew. All right, so you wake up. Aurora's laying on the couch. She kind of leans up and she's just rubbing her head, and she's like, "A new day, but I don't think it's gonna be any better than the last."
Yeah,
Where am I? Am I at your apartment?
you are. You slept
sorry,
on
I
the
was-
couch last night.
I had meant to leave. I'm sorry. Thank you for being a gracious host.
No problem. Do you need anything before you leave this morning?
I need to go. Heavens knows that there's a lot of work to be done.
I'd hate to be the guy that had to clean that mess up last night.
If there are any guys left to clean it up. Listen, I know that you're not very interested in all this going on. I am very happy to have seen you be there last night, and if it weren't for you and your friends, I don't think I'd be here today. I owe you. Please let me know if there's anything I or Vincenz can do for you.
Will do. You just get home safe and watch your back.
You do the same too. I have a feeling they might be angry with you. They might be trying to kill me, but I would still be very cautious for you.
I'm sure of it.
So you owed her a debt before. Is that still valid?
I don't think I owed her a debt, but I had a chance to get a debt from her.
So she owes you 2 debts now.
Where did you take that? I didn't think
She owed you a debt for sure before.
I hadn't
but I don't
earned
know.
it yet. Because
it was the debt for helping her with the situation.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna make it -2.
Okay.
Yeah. Not only did you show up and do your best, but you saved her life. Yeah. So she owes you 2 debts.
Cool.
Holy cow, someone knows.
Someone knows Calvin. Celebrate Sterling's birthday! It's Sterling's birthday today, so yeah, feel free to sing him happy birthday in the comments. But not the trademark song, just the regular song.
The Feliz cumpleaños?
What?
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, so she basically leaves unless anything else happens. What is Calvin going to do for the rest of his day? Class is canceled.
Class is canceled.
He's pretty much in a bad mood. I think that's safe to say. Do you have your daughter this weekend?
I had her last weekend.
I had her last weekend. I don't know how. I haven't decided
tell
how
me.
often.
You tell me how often. Right? Are you trying to be a good dad? Because I think the story wants you to be.
I am trying to be a good dad, so I imagine
She'll come over later.
She'll be coming over later tonight, probably.
Perfect.
You don't want to go pick her up early from school?
You sign her parent permission slip to get out of class early.
Yeah, I mean, you let everyone else out of
Technically,
class.
you have the ability.
Well, she's in high school still, right? Yeah. Yeah, she's a teenager. So
You let everyone else get out of class. Why not go
yeah,
pick her
but
up?
what is your plans for the rest of the day?
Man, honestly, like avoiding the fallout. Like people are going to be calling him about what happened last night, about why he's not in class, and I think he just wants to be like, leave me alone, but he's not going to be able to because he's Calvin.
We'll just knock out a phone call real quick between you and Dean Johnson. Yeah, so Dean Johnson calls. You answer?
I let it ring like 4 or 5 times, and then I'm like, and I like pick it
To
up.
build up strength. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, Calvin. Missed you on campus today.
Yeah, I had a
It's
bit
like
of
early
a
after. It's like late morning. Yeah.
I had a bit of a rough night last night.
Yes, I've heard some early reports. I don't know exactly what happened. I'd love to hear your side of the story whenever you get a chance. The council will be... Let me speak frankly, Calvin. Things are bad.
Yeah?
He has no idea. Like, he has no idea how bad things are. It's like, it says, the wolves officially declared war on the vampires and the hunters this morning.
I imagine that would be the case.
Things are very delicate, and I'd hate to ask more of you. And you like look at your phone
just
and
hangs
you
up.
almost hang.
Not today, Dean!
Yeah.
Calvin, are you there?
Calvin. Oh, bad connection.
Sorry, my phone blipped out for a minute.
Calvin, just let me know what we can do as soon as possible.
Maybe you could have a talk to your hunters about why they interfered last night.
Yes, that the hunters are in session this morning. The master of the hunt is refusing the council's calls.
Oh. Well, maybe that's because they know they were in the wrong.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, if they hadn't interfered, this thing could have been over and done with last night.
The hunters.
The hunters interfered.
They blew this whole thing up.
Absolutely. And they were working with the vampires.
Oh. Calvin, would you please type up what happened last night and send it to me ASAP?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
As long as, I don't have to come in today.
No, you don't. You don't have to come in today, so long as your email justifies why you canceled all your classes and not just the morning classes.
And it's email will include mystical power I felt.
No, definitely. When he gets your email, he's just gonna, set his coffee cup down.
Doesn't even finish reading it, just hits forward and just sends it on.
Yeah. He's just okay. Yeah,
he knew when he was
he knows. Yep. Right, so that's pretty much resolved. You write him, you spend the next hour trying to remember what happened, writing all the details down.
And the next 3 trying to forget.
Yeah, so we're going to cut back to Jake. I'm going to have you think about what you want to do, but we're going to cut back to Jake.
Sleeping. It's early morning.
Yeah, so we're going to cut back to Jake, and you're walking.
Yeah, so I envisioned myself, the difference being that last night I actually remember parts and pieces. So, I'll be walking, and then all of a sudden, I'm just like I'm a crack addict, right?
Yeah. Or maybe you'll be walking, and a lowrider drives by.
Or I feel something.
Or
something.
someone reminds you of something from last night, and
so it's terrorizing
Pablo, or you think of these different things, that snapping memories back to you. Someone screams off in the distance, and it's a kid playing on a playground.
And I'm just yeah. And so I just envision that you kind of walking slowly, and every once in a while when I hear something triggers. And I'm just trying to, just deal with it. And people are looking at me like I'm on drugs.
Yeah. So as you're walking, right, you're heading, where are you heading?
Just
the question of the century. Yeah. Oh, even Junior doesn't like the answer no matter what it is.
There's no good answer. I gotta head to the diner because that's the only place that I feel safe.
Okay.
I mean, I want to go home, but I know there's. I've been gone for a week almost.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the longer you're gone, it's just gonna make it worse.
I can't deal with that.
Junior doesn't want to roleplay that scene.
You rip off the Band-Aid, or you let it fester.
Junior would rather let 2 NPCs just go.
Because she's
and he never returned.
She's not in school yet.
So you walk to Paul's diner, right? Is Susan working today or no?
I would guess it's probably her day off because she probably works.
All right, so you roll up
all the mess and stuff that I don't know that she's in the
the Ware Council has to meet. Yeah, so you show up. We're gonna say that Susan was supposed to work, but she had to call in. Yeah, she got someone to pick up her shift. You sit down and you're drinking a cup of coffee, and you hear this soft whisper next to you, and she goes, "Hello."
Yeah.
You look over and there's no one there, and she goes, "I thought I'd never find you."
And I'm just looking at my coffee, what the hell? I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. And she goes, "You haven't forgotten about me, have you?"
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a soft giggle, and you immediately recognize it to be Isabel's.
Isabel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's hear about Isabel.
So Isabel is a ghost. And she... the only thing
I like the idea of going back to what we talked about before is you found her body floating by the docks, and you basically helped give it a proper burial.
Yep.
And so she owes you a debt for that.
Right. Yeah.
And so she's right next to you, and you kind of sort of feel her presence now,
right.
And it kind of creeps you out because specters can be anywhere without any warning. And she goes, "Is this a bad time?"
I'm sorry, Isabel. It's been a rough few days. What can I do for you?
1 second.
The replacement waitress comes by with the coffee
as he's talking to himself,
and just eyes you really weird as she tops you off.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The problem is she
want?
knows me because she's and she's like, these weird families.
Man, they're fucking weird as hell. Yeah, you're just mumbling to yourself, just drinking coffee, getting breakfast, and she goes, "I heard something the other day, and I thought that it might be interesting for you. I don't have a lot of friends since this happened. You're one of my only friends, Jake. I owe you so much.
It's okay, Isabel. What did you hear?
As you know, we Unseen are working on knowing as much as possible. Someone is manipulating unseen currents in the city. Someone is doing something to the city to make it pretend that the city is a pot full of water.
Okay.
These leylands are the heat, and someone is trying to boil this water.
That can't be good.
I don't know what to do with this information. I'm not even sure about telling others with it. I don't know what to do or who to tell this to. But there's something scary on the horizon. I feel it.
Well, thank you for telling me. I will figure something out with this information. I just, honestly, it's been a rough few days and I need to gather myself. But thank you. Be safe.
Thank you. Take care of yourself, Jake. You're a good guy.
You too, take care, Isabel.
I mean it, Jake. You're a good person.
I'm just gonna start drinking my coffee thinking she's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
And then nothing
And
for a long time.
And she's just kind of still staring at me.
No, she disappears. She was only heard. Yeah.
So, for me, after
We can just cut and give you a moment.
well, I was thinking, it's time. After I get my breakfast and
man.
everything, I'm gonna head home.
Okay.
Maybe we should take 5 minutes of Junior
Yeah,
stealing
we need
himself.
to do something. We'll have some tequila.
Called Play a New Campaign. Called Farming.
Yeah, but I think
Where you don't have a wife.
I've been gone for what,
Yeah.
5 days?
Yeah, so you get home, and no one is home. Okay? She's up to work, Anna's in school.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of go in and just try to clean myself up, shower, and just try to. And then, what time is it? Probably noonish.
We can say whatever
1
time we
o'clock?
want. Yeah.
Okay.
So as you're showering, right when you get out of the shower, you're drying off. Sarah comes home. She at first she kind of like, you hear the door open,
Right.
and then you hear it shut, and then you hear like soft footsteps, and then you hear, "Hello,
Yeah, it's me.
Jake?"
Yeah.
And like you're coming around the corner, you're like drying off, and she just runs up and hugs you, and she almost starts crying in your arms.
And I'm just hugging her tight.
And she kind of pulls back for a second, looks at you, goes in for a hug again, squeezes you tightly, pulls back and looks at you, and then just slaps the shit out of you.
Yep, I knew it was coming. I deserve
Where the
that.
fuck have you been?
Side question.
Yes.
He got fucking shot with a crossbow bolt. Has he got a hole?
Uh,
Because he's pretty injured from it.
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
So,
I guess I would have.
Right in his bare chest.
I would have some type of scar. I
okay,
guess, or-
so we'll say that you got out of the shower and you put like a Band-Aid on or whatever, right? We'll say that
But
like
it's kinda
you were drying
in
your
with the
hair.
towel.
You will, or like you put a
Rope.
shirt on or
Okay.
something real quick. But yeah, you probably should go to the hospital soon.
Because I love the idea of her seeing it and then just being like, "What the fuck
Yeah.
happened?"
Well,
Damn it.
are you dressed or no?
Well, I mean, I'm just in like a robe or towel is what I was
Okay.
imagining.
So she slaps
Yeah.
you. She's like, "Where the fuck have you been?"
I'm sorry. I just a crazy week. I think.
No, that is not even fucking close enough.
I know, Sarah. I know. We need to talk. We need to figure this out. It's not fair to you.
She kind of gestures to the couch. She goes, "No better time than now."
Could I put some clothes on?
Yeah, put some fucking clothes on, but you better have
Yes.
no bullshit.
No more bullshit.
Because you can lie to me, but soon Anna's gonna get back from school, and you better not fucking lie to her.
I won't. I never will.
Because I cry myself to sleep at night when you're not here, but only because Anna cannot sleep when you're not here.
I know, honey. I'm sorry.
You don't know, because you're not here. Go put clothes on. I'm sorry. I'm getting fucking riled up. You better be out here in 3 fucking minutes.
Right. No, run in.
You walk into the bedroom, and you open the door, and you see there's a new doorknob taken out of the case with new keys sitting into it.
All right. I'm going to kind of patch myself up, try to hide a little bit. Put some raggedy old clothes on that I got, and say a quick prayer.
There's something ironic about a tainted praying.
I know.
All right, 1 second.
Full Catholic cross.
Full of some holy water.
Does it hurt you?
Lighting a candle.
All right.
All right, here we go. Okay, so I walk in and I'm gonna sit down, kind of next to her. And all right, Sarah. I know I owe you more than I can give you. I owe you so many apologies. It's not fair to you, and I just don't know how to tell you all this.
Are you having an affair?
I'm not. No, you know that I would never do that.
I don't know anything about you, Jake. You don't tell me anything. You shut me out. You know, maybe it would even be easier if you were cheating on me.
No, Sarah.
Because then at least I have someone to hate as much as I hate you.
Don't say that. Don't. I can't take that.
Then what is it? What makes you leave fucking Monday and not come back until Friday?
There's nothing I could say that'll make you believe what's going on with me. I've done something that I did to help, and it cost me deeply. It cost me. It cost us. And I'm so sorry.
I don't know what the fuck that means, Jake. Jake, you always speak to me like I'm stupid or something. Just because... Look, I'm not smart, okay? I know that, but that doesn't mean I'm stupid.
And I know. I'm just trying to figure out how to tell you this. How...
Start with telling me.
It's just so much. It's so difficult. And I'm gonna kind of try to reach in, and I made a deal, and it's not a good one.
At this moment, Anna comes home from school.
Damn it.
And she bursts in, she goes, Daddy! Runs up and just hugs you. And hugs you.
And I'm just like, oh.
And she's crying. And she turns and she sees Sarah crying. And she goes, what's wrong with Mommy?
No, nothing, honey, nothing. She's happy to see me. And I'm just kind of, as I'm holding her, I'm like, sorry. I'll look at Sarah and be like, I'm sorry. We'll talk more.
She kind of turns to you and she goes, Daddy, can we watch all the cartoons on the TiVo?
Sure, honey, just I have a little bit of time.
Okay.
Let's watch.
And Sarah gets up and she opens the cupboards and she pulls out some snacks for Anna and she slams the cupboards pretty hard. She comes back and she gives Anna a snack. And she goes, would you like anything, Jake?
No, honey, no. I'm good.
Before you even answer, she turns and starts walking away back to the bedroom.
Yep.
Scene.
God damn it, Junior!
No, man. I don't know how to... Fuck you,
Rip the fucking Band-Aid off, man!
No, man, I can't handle that shit.
Who wants next? Yeah, I feel like this campaign is mostly like, I hope Martin doesn't call me. Like, don't make eye contact with Martin and I don't get a scene. So Oliver wakes up, it's midday, right?
Artemis coming by?
You pick.
I'd say yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've kind of tasked him all week of trying to...
Yeah, so he comes back. I'm assuming at this point, you Body armor last night probably had a couple bullets ricochet
Yeah,
off
so
of it.
coming in was just like stripping things off. So there's like a sword on the floor and like
a crossbow.
my 9 mils just in the shoulder holster on the floor and a new crossbow.
Yep.
My body armor that's like had grazing wounds on it.
Yep. So Artemis,
Just like a trail of clothes to my bed.
is this in the sanctum then?
No, this is.
In the.
I just went straight to my bed.
Okay. Yeah. So
Coffin.
yeah. So Artemis.
Such a racist stereotype. We don't sleep in coffins.
We always.
Bastard.
Most do.
He's just high class.
He just can't afford a coffin. He hasn't found the right one yet.
How do you fuck someone in a coffin?
Right.
Eh?
Carefully.
Big enough coffin.
Carefully.
Yes.
Carefully. Trust me, I've seen videos. All right, moving
Your
on.
freaking fetish.
And then I regret it immediately. Okay. Artemis walks in. Ding. Elevator doors open. Artemis walks in.
I am still in
Looks
bed.
at the mess. Yeah. Hello? Nothing. Yeah, he kind of comes in, and you're just looking beat up. Very late night.
You probably still have a lot of surface bruising too. Like
Yeah.
the injury's mostly healed, but
He just sets his suitcase down, and he goes, Oliver Silver. Do you have like a vampire middle name?
no.
Oliver Silver, what in the nine hells are you doing?
I just kind of roll over in bed and just like stick an arm out and pat.
No, mister, no!
I had a hell of a night.
Yeah, there's a crossbow on the floor covered in
Oh,
blood.
fuck, that's right. I did leave that there.
Why is there blood on a crossbow in your living room on the floor?
I sit up in bed and kind of scoot back against the headboard.
And he sees all the bruising. He goes,
Oh, Artie.
no, don't arty me. No. No, you do not. I'm gonna fucking butcher all of you.
I
It's
know.
different. I hate mine.
I know. I'm just like.
Artemis. All hell's broken loose. I tried to make peace last night. To do what I could to restore the order and... Fuck.
It didn't go well, looks like. You have a crossbow on the floor of your living room, covered in blood. Why would you even bring that back?
Because the bastard that owned it told me he was going to hunt me down. The sick little irony to it.
You know, Oliver, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Oh, I didn't kill him.
So you're a trophy hunter.
Not a hunter, just a... You've seen my wall?
Yes, and I hate your wall.
That's my history.
Well, if you only focus on your history, you never look to the future. Junior is just having a blast right now. My scenes are done, maybe for the night. Maybe for the night.
You can only hope. But
I mean,
gotta go to bed at some point.
We're going to come back to it, so.
You know I hate all that memorabilia. Baseball cards, I could deal with that. Stupid stamp collections, that's fine. Hell, if you had Pokemon cards or something childish, I could be fine with that. Aren't you wearing your Pokemon shirt still? If you had like a Pikachu stuffy or a t-shirt or something, I could be fine with that. But you have Nazi memorabilia. You have a crossbow from a man that was murdered last night.
Artemis... I'm old. These things... They're the easiest ways for me to remember what was there, what happened. And not all of these things deserve to be forgotten. Sometimes, especially downstairs, the memories are all I've got left.
No, they're not. You have your ambitions, your hopes, your desires, your company, me, your friends. You look at the past so much that you don't see the future. If you never look forward, you never look to what you have. You talk about wanting this family, Which immediately strikes a chord.
Yeah, I just kind of head down.
But you can never let anyone in if you're so worried about all the pain in your past.
Speaking of pain of the past, I met an old face last night. One that should have died, who I thought died, years ago.
Is this one of those supernatural things I probably shouldn't even ask about?
Apparently, my brother is here.
You've never told me about any of your about your brother. You have siblings?
Had 5 of them. When you come from a small town in farm country, you tend to have larger families.
And now your brother is here in the city.
He's like me.
Oh, perfect. Then you have family here in town.
And he started the war.
Oh. Sounds like you
Another
have a...
fucking war I have to fight in now.
Shall I order more body armor?
Can you just get me a tank, maybe?
I don't know if they sell tanks to private individuals, but...
No, I'm trying to keep out of these sorts of conflicts. I fought mine. I don't want to go back to that. War never changes, though. And I can't believe that my brother started all of this.
Then reach out to him. If you were half as close with him as you are with your friend, well, if you were close with him at all, then reach out to him, talk to him. Find out what he's doing here.
I haven't seen him in 70 years. I haven't seen him since I went to Europe. That first time. Hell, before that, since I went to Tacoma. For basic training. That was the last time I went home.
I don't know what to tell you, Oliver. Just... You've been looking for something for so long. Maybe this is it. Maybe he's as lost and misguided as you were when we first met. Or maybe you can help him.
Maybe I can. I don't know. It's all very sudden. I never expected to see a face like his again. As far as I knew, all of my family was dead. The Clarks had died years ago.
That's how family always is, though. Just when you least expect it, they rear their ugly head for something.
Why here? Why now? Of all the places he could be.
If he's a vampire like you, why not?
Fucking hell.
I think we'll call it a scene. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably sufficient.
The camera shows Calvin driving in a truck. It's not his truck because you have a car. You have like a Neon or something. So you're driving this black kind of Toyota truck, this small little pickup, driving it back. You got Trent's address from Aurora. And you're driving the truck back, bringing it back as like a sign of good faith, checking to see if he even survived. Or as you drive back in that neighborhood where you were not long ago, what feels like weeks ago, you're driving through the neighborhood and you can tell that it's eerie.
It's literally like 1 week since the first time I talked to Trent.
And you're driving back before it felt dangerous, before you felt like there was a lot of people kind of keeping an eye out. And now you see, I mean, it's Friday midday, 3 or 4 p.m. People are out on the streets. A lot of guys, a lot of people just kind of standing around just keeping an eye out. And you immediately get a sense like, this is werewolf territory and they're on alert. And as you're driving through, everyone is staring at you. Everyone is staring at Trent's truck. And as you sort of pull up, the block where his address is just full of vehicles. It's hard to park. You kind of just pull up, and two guys just walk right up to you. As you kind of pull up, you're not even pulled into a space or anything. And two guys walk up to you, and they just size you up immediately. They say, "What do you want?"
I'm just here to return this truck.
They kind of smell it over a little bit. They kind of point to the driveway, and they kind of walk back as you pull in. And you see kind of Trent stumble out, and he's kind of holding himself. He's dressed, but he's holding some wounds. And he kind of gestures for you to come over.
Yep. I walk over and I'm bringing the keys with me.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Yeah.
in the back.
So, I kind of like the idea that you have, like, stakes. No, you walk up and he says, "Calvin, last time we talked, it wasn't very civil. Would you join me for a civil conversation?"
I'd be happy to.
So he kind of gestures to the porch. And you guys are sitting down on some really kind of nice chairs. They're like nice porch chairs. You guys sit down, and he kind of gestures, and some guys bring back some beers. And he's kind of sitting down, holding his wounds. He's looking really beat up, like he should go to the hospital, but he's not going to. "I wasn't expecting to see that truck anytime soon."
Well, this truck helped get me home safely last night, so I figured I'd bring it back since you guys left him.
Aurora said you took care of her last night. Thank you. She is a good friend of mine.
You, look like you could use some help yourself.
It's fine. Nothing. Vaps couldn't finish me off. I don't think these wounds will either.
Make sure you keep them clean at least. Don't want to get an infection.
We have friends that can help me. Less paperwork than a hospital. And as he says that, Vincent steps out of the house and turns the corner. And he has a beer in his hand, and he's dressed very much casual for the first time. He still looks respectable.
He's a politician. He can't turn it off.
No, not at all. But he comes and he sits down, kind of making a triangle of sorts. And he says, "Calvin, what you did last night was very respectable. I know that you easily, from what I hear, you easily could have turned the tide. And we wouldn't be having this conversation today. You show what kind of caliber of man you are by bringing back Trent's truck, even though you understand that it could mark you as an ally of the wolves or as an enemy of the vampires. I know that you are not a very political man. Look, I know that you don't even care for me all that much. That much is not wasted on me. Last I heard, you and Trent were not very good friends either, but yet here we are, the three of us." He kind of points out there and he goes, "You see that?" And there's kind of like, it's an overcast day, storm clouds, kind of brewing, maybe light rain later.
Yeah.
It's about as nice as it's going to be for a while. It's going to turn soon. The weather and the tide. Everything I hear about you puts you a man who breaks the tide against you. No matter how much washes over you, I understand that you resolve yourself, make yourself stronger. I have friends in a lot of places. I understand that you work for Mr. Johnson over at the university. He's a fair ally of mine, I guess I could say. He speaks very highly of you, with a bit of regard.
It's
Says
probably
you're
fair.
unreliable, but when useful in a pinch. I need people like you, helping not only me, helping this city. You don't have to like me. But if you love New Salem, as I love it, then you want to protect this city as I do. I have planted myself firmly with the werewolves to prevent the war between the vampires and the werewolves. Others have not. Others sought to pit the werewolves and the vampires against each other. Namely, my opponent. Cato made that deal last night.
So you think this Cato was the one using magic to bring over all those hunters then?
He's no fool. His magic is powerful. Not his magic, but his associates. The wizards are very divided right now. Many rallied behind my cause. Wizards who are more worried about me and my abilities sought to put someone else in power. Kind of put me in my place. While I try to be diplomatic about it, you can see where diplomacy gets those who stand by the wayside, and he gestures towards Trent. We did not start this war. We did not want this war. But you'll be damned sure we will fight this war now. The
To
days
what end?
until this city is in a position where it can muster peace. I do not wish to see the vampires destroyed. I wish to see a balance. And I will step on any throat to get there. That is not a threat. We are here because we have been stepped on. We will step back. We will stand up for ourselves. And we will defend ourselves from errant vampires who wish to seek glory and destroy peace. For years, decades even. What I want to know, and what Trent here is willing to offer, is in the times ahead, I, Aurora, Trent, the city, we need people like you helping us make New Salem a place of peace where all supernatural creatures are equal. Will you join us, or will you sit by the wayside and let countless others die while some tainted ruins the city for his own machinations?
Neither of these options are good options you're giving me. As you know, I'm not a big fan of you. But that's not because I hate you. It's because I knew you once before. In a previous life. I was just like you, mate. Young and cocky. Full of piss and vinegar, ready to go out and take on the world and submit the world to my will. The thing is, when we're wizards, the higher we climb, the further we fall. And the further we fall, the more people we take with us. Demons, on the other hand, they're easy to figure out. Rage, greed, that's what fuels them. So what are you gonna do to assure the city doesn't collapse under the power that you're bringing to it?
I am no fool. I understand that magic breeds power and that power breeds more power until you find yourself at a precarious situation, unable to sustain yourself, looking down below you. But if we do not climb that ladder, if we do not elevate ourselves to where we belong, to where people need us to be, then we are no better, if not worse, than those who seek power for the sake of seeking power. I see that you see yourself in me. And I can only assume that that's meant to be a compliment and a sort of warning. But if you don't climb that ladder, if you don't seek that power, then what kind of man are you to not want to make the world better? I use my power to help those in my influence. I use my power to protect the wolves from the vampires. And if they continue to press, then I will use my power to see to it that the vampires stop what they are doing. I did not start this war. But be assured that me and my allies will use all the power at our disposal to see to it that this war ends. That is our session this week. We will be back with more friends like these next week. If you're having a good time and feel inspired to do so, please support us on Patreon. For just a few dollars a month, you can help us continue to make these projects and other projects as good as possible for the future of the channel. Thank you very much, and we will see you again next week.
Oliver's brother. You know what the best part is, too?
He's the one that murdered the alpha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like, I got that, huh?
The second we talked last time, I was like, it could be
Why,
Reynold.
Sam?
It could
Why?
be because he's ambitious like his brother.
We were just farmers, Sam!
I fucking love this game. This game is so fun. It's stressful,
At
but
least
it's
you have a
so
way in
fun.
now, right?
Oh boy, yay! A way
Isn't
in!
that what you all wanted?
I'm Daniel and I'm playing Fuck You!
Fuck this game. Fuck Martin especially.
And fuck you, Future Sterling!
It's happening. It's like all the future Sterling bucks are being cashed in this game.